yesterday, a major story opened up, and it's all that's wrong with the NIL era, the transfer portal era. DeMan Williams, quarterback at Washington, good player. I wouldn't say great player, has talent, can use his legs, has a decent arm, can make plays. He signed with Washington. And I was going crazy yesterday as I'm reading this come out. I'm like, I swear he just signed the other day, but maybe and then I convinced myself I was wrong that he didn't sign. Well, he had. He signed for reportedly $4 million a few days ago to stay at Washington. Well, through some back channeling, Lane Kiffin and LSU have been talking to different quarterbacks, as we know, and DeMan Williams is one of them. Reportedly offered him $6 million to come to LSU. What happens yesterday? DeMan Williams enters the transfer portal after already signing his NIL contract with Washington with a do not contact tag, which means basically my team's picked. I know where I'm going. Don't contact me. Reports are it's LSU. Reports are ranging anywhere from $5 to $6 million that he was offered. Now, I don't.
Now do Sam Levitt with Lane Kiffin.
Yes, and then and then you have Lane Kiffin and Sam Levitt, the transfer from Arizona State, sitting at a LSU basketball game, sitting right next to each other. And while this is all coming out, and there's multiple videos of Sam Levitt on his phone, he could have been looking at Twitter and seeing, hey, coach, what the hell's going on here? This is saying DeMan Williams is coming to LSU. Well, I'm fucking sitting right here next to you. You're trying to get me to come to LSU. This is the dirty side of college athletics that a lot of people don't want to see, don't want to hear about. And this has been going on for a long time. Don't get us wrong. But now it's wide open out in the open when it comes to all this seedy money exchanging hands, backroom deals. Oh, I don't care if you signed. I want you to come here anyways. And it shows us that LSU under Lane Kiffin is going to be scummy. They've been scummy before, and Lane Kiffin's been scummy everywhere he's been. And he obviously, Leopard doesn't change his spots. He's the same guy. He doesn't care who does what. But it's also a bigger indictment of just college football overall, college athletics overall right now in this NIL era.
You said this is the dirty part of college football. I got news for you. Where's college football clean anymore?
Right. No, none.
This is the norm in college football. This is no longer that shocking. Now, this one even takes the cake for now we're at this level. We could do a 2-hour show based on this quarterback, the other quarterback, and Lane Kiffin. Now, it pains me at times to have to do what I do, but I've done it with friends and family, not sell them out, but different opinion where I like somebody, but still have to put it right on the table, dude. And I don't shy from that, and I don't give a shit what anybody thinks, okay, is one, you cannot tell me, first of all, the Washington quarterback, it's the only place in the world, take your job, whatever job you're in at your company that you have a contract. You can't do this. You can't. We went from one extreme of not paying the kids a dime, which they deserve, right, jersey sales and all that, to skipping everything from 1 to 10. We skipped 2 through 9. Yep. And got to 15. They didn't even top and pass go for 10 and grab $200 and went to the extreme 15 the other way. Where now you can do whatever you want in college sports. The NC2A, you're a bunch of pussies. You just are. You have no power to stop anybody from doing anything. You allowed this. The grown adults allowed this, and the kids aren't smart enough not to take. The kids are smart enough to take advantage of it, not smart enough to know at some point in time it's going to hit them across the face. But in the meantime, the rules say I can get paid. Make it all. Milk them as much as you can because they've milked you. But there's no other place in the world this goes on. Well, Sean, coaches can do it. No, they can't. They can if you pay the $15 million buyout.
Right.
Which leads me, and I'm going to get to this Kiffin and Levitt situation, Segs, and DeMan Williams. That I said it a year ago, and I'm going to tell you again. If the kid can put a price tag on money in the university, what he wants, it's time for the universities to put a price tag on the kid's head. Meaning this, the guy's under contract. I don't have to grant him. I would not grant. I wouldn't let Williams leave. Although
as of now, Washington has not.
They're going to fight back, right? I wouldn't let him leave, but here's the problem with that. I really don't want him as part of the program if he can be bought for an extra $1 million. I'd say get his ass out. I can find him anywhere. They're all replaceable. Some are better than others. At some point in time, Mendoza at Indiana, when he goes to pros, do you know their coach is going to find a good player? He just is, because he's found good players all the time. They were playing. We all think when we're at his age, and like I did as the #1 quarterback in the country, you can't win without me. Well, yeah, we actually can. John Robinson said it in my living room. Said this story before. Maybe you haven't heard it. At the last recruiting day, just before I signed, he says, we want you here. You're our top priority, and we're going to put you in a position to compete and win and play against the best. But if you don't come to USC, now he's talking to a guy, and I don't mean it arrogant, was the #1 in the country. And he looked at me and he said, in my family, and he said, if you don't come to USC, we're still showing up on Saturdays and we're still going to win. Now, we didn't have NIL then, but it was just kind of a different form of NIL. And they didn't give me a dime at SC to sign there. That's the promise. I can say whatever, I promise you. But when he said that, I looked around and my dad says, I guess you want to be a part of that when Coach Robinson left. And Paul Hackett, who was the coordinator at the time. I'm like, damn. So that's the real part of it, Segs, is that DeMan Williams, the part of me wants to say, if I'm Jed Fisher, we don't want you, man. Kind of like what Tennessee did with Nico, right? Mm-hmm. It's similar, but not he would sign. So with this situation, kid's a good player and the rest, but I think there's better quarterbacks in the transfer portal. I do. I think he's a good player. Sam Levitt's better. I do too. And it's such a dirty business now, and it is a business. So while I want the kid to get paid, we've gone the other extreme. There's got to be happening. I wouldn't let him out. I'd make him suffer through it and miss out on this cycle because he committed to us. But think about it now. You can do it. You can't do this in pro football. Sean, yeah, you can. Coaches do it all the time. Yeah, if you have a buyout and they pay the $15 million, you can. You just have to get up and walk out of the building and say, overnight, I'm leaving you without there being consequences and accountability. We need to put it on. I would have, once he signed, put a $4 million, we should be allowed. Oh, for $4 million, now the NCAA, let's institute this. If you want him LSU and he wants to leave, the buyout is $4 million on him. So you pay us $4 million and then you can pay him $5 million. So it's costing you $9 million. If you want to do that, fucking take him. I'll find somebody worth $3 million better than him. Because I promise you, as a quarterback evaluator, I can find somebody that can do what he can do. I can find somebody who can do what Sam Levitt can do. I can find somebody that can do what Dylan Raiola can do. I don't mean to lump them on, but I can. So you've committed. So that tells me that now I don't blame them for wanting the money. The rules say go get it. But do you think DeMan Williams is all in if he ends up coming back to Washington? Don't you think he's going to be playing saying, bullshit, I threw 5 touchdowns last week. I should be. Don't you think that human nature kicks in? And on the other side, as much as I love my guy Lane Kiffin, Lane's all the poster child for who we love now. He's also the poster child for if you want the portal done different. Lane's the face of it right now. He just is. And I know, listen, I love LSU. I've been on the campus and in the coaches' offices and the rest of it. Love them. But if Lane was doing this at Ole Miss with this, if this situation occurred at Ole Miss, let's just say the same situation, but he was still there, LSU fans would be beside themselves over this. Just like Ole Miss fans are probably going to flip them off and hate it, right? So the point is the rules allow it, but it can't be any more Bush League or chicken shit. If I'm Sam Levitt and this is true, I'd have walked out at halftime and left. There's other places that can use Sam Levitt. Plenty of them. And he's a good player. So to me, we got to start, not a bounty, we got to put a price on every kid's head. You can't just jump in and steal my guy. You can't be under contract with me. In the real world, you get litigated over this shit. I can't walk away from a job. Matter of fact, in a morning show job like I was doing 790, if you're not in the job or they move on or don't want to pay, I can't. It's a non-compete. You can't even work in the area for 6 months. This, you can make your money, commit, sign a contract, the next day leave. Now, Washington is going to fight him over this, but he can literally get up and leave and say, don't contact me. I'm going to get $6 million. And if I'm LSU, if somebody offers him $7 million, he'll leave for that job, just like most of them would. So while I'm not even using loyalty's out the window. We don't need fucking loyalty from coach to player, player to coach, organization, any of it. But anybody that thinks this is right and good is wrong. College football is the worst it's ever been. I'm not saying the talent's the worst. The business side of college football couldn't be worse until you see this, and it's worth. I love Lane Kiffin. I'd want to interview him too. But if you're talking about you want something, if you want him or anybody else, and if you're a recruit, and I'm involved in the college coaching and high school stuff, I'm gonna look you in the camera. This doesn't go for everybody, but it goes for a lot. If you're a recruiter, a family member, or an assistant coach, or a coach, or anybody dealing with coaches, and I love them, but there's a lot of coaches that will pee in your face and tell you training. If you just trust their word, you're fucked. Because they're telling you you're the guy, and you could be sitting next with a guy at the game. You thought you were the guy, and then the guy who's in Washington is the guy. And then you could tell the recruit, you're our guy. We're not going to recruit anybody next year. The next year rolls around, they're telling the 5-star he's the best guy we've ever had. We'll do it again. So if you are not seeing the forest through the trees and you're going with loyalty, I trust the coach's word, you're a dumbass. As a 17-year-old kid, as a 21-year-old kid, as a grown adult parent, if that's what you're going, you can't even sign a contract and trust that they're doing the right thing for you. Meaning the player or the coach, either way. Right. They both move on and do things. Put a price tag on these kids' head now. Not on their head to get hurt, on their head to be able to transfer. You signed a contract, you're under contract. You want to leave, we have to approve it, one. Secondly, there's a buyout, $4 million for a quarterback. You're getting 6 to go. Here's a $4 million buyout. So now it's going to cost you $10 million, LSU. 4 to us, we get rewarded for you screwing us over and us breaking this contract.
Right.
Can't do it anywhere else in the world. Why the hell would I let a kid do it? That kid is going to walk into LSU and he'll be the 2nd or 3rd highest paid person in the building. In the building.
It's crazy.
The offensive coordinator at the most is going to make what? Charlie Weiss here, $1.5?
Roughly, probably.
He's got what, Segs, 2 years eligibility left? So it's a $6 million. Is it 2 years? So let's say it's a $6 million deal for 2 years. Let's just say that. Fair enough. $3 million a year. Let's just say that. If that's the case, it's $6 million. Who on that staff outside of Lane Kiffin's making $3 million a year? Matter of fact, maybe the highest paid employee, not entrepreneur, employee, one of the 5 high in the state, $3 million. If it's 2 years, $6 million. He's making more money than any coach on that staff but Lane Kiffin. He ain't that good. Sorry to tell you. He's not that good. And if I'm Washington, my decision is, now that he's done this, I know why he's here. Good player. I'm sure he's a good kid. Yeah. Take advantage of the rules because the rules suck. The adults suck. The NC2A blows. The college football, great talent, fun watch. And by the way, having the game 7 more weeks ahead of time, I'm being hyperbolic. It's losing its luster too. I don't care what anybody says. The championship, all that. It's too long. Get it done. This is LSU and Lane. If you think Lane's done with the transfer portal, you're out of your friggin' mind. Oh, they're going to do what allows the rules to do and push it to the brink and jump over them at times, as will a bunch of other people. It's a dirty business, and it's not getting any cleaner.
Yeah, you said it, that we have to start putting buyouts on these kids. I mean, it's if you sign a kid to a $10 million NIL deal coming out of high school, if the school wants to come get him, you have to pay 75%. Let's just say that. Well,
for that, I'm putting it on. You got paid. We're putting it. Let the school decide.
Right.
Whatever it is. You got a salary cap. Right. Yes. Hey, $4 million on our starting quarterback, man. It's important to our national championship. They went and plucked him after he signed with us. So no. It'll call LSU. Lane, guess what? So you tell me. Now they've got to get back to the decision saying, Sam's got a $3 million buyout. DeMan's got a $4 million buyout. What do we want to do? We're offering them both $6 million. What do we do? Just like regular free agency, buddy. Now you're in a buy, or you want to steal a coach, you got to pay. You got to pay the friggin' price. And now we'll start to see what the real commitment is, not only for the kid, but if the kid is bummed about it, find another place to play, dog. Yeah. Get into the portal and go play somewhere else. Sorry, you don't get to move for free whenever you decide. We have given them too much autonomy. And if I'm Washington, I fight it. But then if I'm Washington, I think, well, first off, the kid, in my opinion, if he doesn't win the Heisman, they don't win the national championship. If he goes to LSU and they don't win it, overpaid. Period. Overpaid. So, well, what did Washington do in the playoff?
Oh, they weren't in it.
Oh, okay. So, but if I'm the kid, my character would tell me that I'm not jumping after I sign for next. I'm just telling you, mine would be different. But I'm not saying he may have a high character, maybe a great kid, but he's not all in at Washington.
No.
And he won't be in all at LSU. If all of a sudden, let's just say Kyle Whittingham, for fun, let's say Underwood left.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle said, man, I've seen that guy play. I got to have DeMan Williams. Offer him $8 million. Portnoy, call up your people who can get people. Offer him $8 million. We'll give him 2 years for $4 million. Do you think he's staying at LSU?
No.
Okay.
See ya.
Rest my case. Neither would Sam Levitt. I can't put it on Sam because I don't know. But if I'm Sam Levitt and I heard that while I was sitting next to Lane Kiffin, I give the Irish goodbye. I say I'm going to run up to the restroom, and my ass is out of the building if I know it's true. Pete Thamel's a pretty fair. There's some guys out there pretty damn reputable, right?
Yeah.
That do these articles. Yeah, nah. The college football's dirtier than the IOC right now.
I mean, look at
you do the math.
Look at our Final Four teams. Miami, Carson Beck started at Georgia, transferred to Miami. Trinidad Chambliss. Now he did it the more conventional way. Started at Ferris State, transferred to Ole Miss.
Yeah, he had to go through the freaking grind.
That one I'm not.
I don't have one problem with the way that kid did it.
Fernando Mendoza, Cal to Indiana, and then Dante Moore started. Well, let's see. He committed to Michigan, then committed to USC, then ended up at UCLA. Oh, and now he's at Oregon. So I mean, it's just it's every. I mean, going back years. I mean,
why recruiting is so bad now, Segs. If you're a high school recruit, you're going to get left out if you're not getting out in front of it 3 years ahead of time because, well, they're going into the portal for experience.
Looking back years, I mean, last year, Will Howard transferred from Kansas State to Ohio State. Year before,
Riley Leonard, though. Riley Leonard was Duke to Notre Dame.
Yep. I mean, Joe Burrow, Ohio State to LSU. I mean, there's a few in there with some of those Georgia quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy, who went to their school, stayed, fought for their job, and then went on to win a national championship. But it's a business where there is no loyalty anymore. And that's where, fans have to, and we see it. There's not as much excitement around National Signing Day when you sign these big recruits, when you sign, like we talked about the top kid in the 26 or 27 class, whichever one it is, that committed to Ohio State and then said, yeah, but I'm still going to visit other places. I'm still going to go on dates with everybody else. Now, I'm not married. I mean, and that's the thing. Nobody, coaches included, are married to these schools. You just have to be a fan of your school. Don't hitch your wagon to any of these players or coaches anymore. That's the thing that sucks.
The problem is everybody now is just attracted to one thing. Cash before winning. The approval of somebody else before winning, and then winning kind of fits in there, right? And I don't want to put them all in because like a Joe Burrow transfer, and I'm glad Isaiah said this too. Burrow got beat out, wasn't playing at Ohio State, wanted a chance, transferred, played great, was the first pick of the draft. That's how transfer portals are supposed to work.
Yeah.
You go, you're not getting a chance, you go play. Or if you've played your 4 years, and Duke doesn't want Riley Leonard anymore. They got a kid they want to play that they don't want to transfer, and they think they'll be better. You say, you're graduating from school, have at it. Senior transfer, Notre Dame, man, we need a veteran. Come on in here with experience and play and light it up, bam, and now get a chance and look pretty damn good this last weekend with playing for the Colts. Got a little bit of a future, I think. Right. He's put up a little bit of a score. So that's the way to do it. The way to not do it, it should simply not be allowed. You can't sign a contract and just up and leave the next day and go to the portal. You've already signed it without paying it. I'd put a salary cap on the portal. I would put a price on every player's head in the portal, and I would put the number of times you can transfer. More than once, you have to sit out, period. I don't care when you do it. Well, it's about the kids. No, it's not. It's not about the kids because the kids aren't making it about the kids. The kids are making it about the money. So treat them like they're adults and treat them like they're pros and treat them like they're a professional because they get more latitude now than professionals do. We are giving them more leeway and latitude than any pro player in any sport has right now. And they haven't, some of them haven't pissed a drop. Some of them have not pissed a drop in this league. And the majority of them will not be starting on Sundays in the NFL.
If I'm a top ranked quarterback coming out of high school, I'm at the point now where unless it's a Bryce Underwood situation where Michigan is telling you, we're giving you all this money and you're going to start. Like you're in that situation, you're going to start. I'm not looking at the big schools anymore. I'm going to go somewhere middle, level, and I'm going to go tear it up as a true freshman. And then these teams are going to throw gobs of cash at me. And that's going to be kind of the new thing, I think, for these top quarterbacks. Yes, there'll be some that go to the big schools. But I mean, if you're smart, you go to a Tulane or a James Madison, you tear it up, and then you have the college experience now.
You're invaluable, dude.
Gift to these college coaches that have all this money to spend.
You know what else I want, Segs? We saw this kid's, if he's able to pull this off and leave and go without consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he goes there and LSU's 1-3. And he's struggling, playing decent football. But we saw, Nussmeier went through a little bit of that this year, right? We see it happen all the time. Guy you go in and get isn't quite what you think. Carson Beck. Carson Beck was a first-round draft pick coming out of Georgia when he was playing and they were winning. Then he lost his job, got hurt, lost his job, and now he's at Miami in the Final Four and done a nice job. But he's not going to get drafted in the first round. That being said, why can't I as the coach? Well, we guaranteed your contract at Washington. You left, so now you're at LSU. You signed with us, you're guaranteed. But you can up and leave when you want. So you're 1-3, dude, and we are paying you this kind of money. You're not performing. I'm. You know what? We're cutting you. If you want to stay and go to school with your money, you can pay for school. But now that you've made all this money, we already paid you for the first year. We're going to cut you. The backup played better than you. Now we're 3-0 with the backup, and you were 1-3, and we beat 3 SEC teams. Well, we want to cut you. We owe you, and you negotiate a small percentage. Why can't you cut the kid? Well, you're doing the kid dirty. Can't cut him. You committed to him. Oh, that's rich. But he could do it to Washington. Well, Sean, the coach of Washington, can leave. No, he can't leave unless there's a buyout, cost him money. Put money on their head. You got to buy out. You got to pay the school if the kid transfers. You make the transfer portal absolutely has a salary cap on it. And number 3, you give me the ability, if the kid's not living up to the money and the expectations, I can cut his ass. And if he wants to stay in school, he pays for his own. He's got the money. If he wants to just quit, fine, stay in school, go be a fraternity guy and do your thing. Otherwise, I can cut you. And guess what? We'll give you a percentage, kind of like we do in the pros. If you haven't got a number of games in, you're out. The next guy's in. And man, he only made $100,000 in NIL. What a bargain. And you know what? As much as I love the kid, and I'm championing kids' causes all the time, if you rob Peter, you better be prepared your ass to pay Paul. And that's the way I look at it. They're grown adults now, man. I got no sympathy for them. None. They get paid.
One quick other layer to this is the fact that DeMan Williams, I keep wanting to call him Desmond, but it's DeMan Williams. Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports reports that there was a provision in his NIL contract that prohibited him from entering the transfer portal. He does it. But the last little wrinkle to this is DeMan Williams did this last night, right in the middle when all his teammates, coaches, Big Ten officials were at the celebration of life for the Washington Huskies women's soccer player that lost her life.
Yeah, nice timing. What a class move, huh? There. Look at me, yeah.
So, I mean, it's just another scummy part to this story of
what I do?
Kiffin, the LSU, the DeMan Williams. Oh, now you're going to do it during this celebration of life for a athlete in your same school's pool of athletes. If
he has to stay, Six, if he isn't that conduct detrimental? Didn't he do something illegal? Didn't he? And I'm not talking about the post and all that when he announced it.
Yeah.
They say there's a provision in his contract, and Dellinger, I think, won Writer of the Year as well, won an award just yesterday or 2 days ago. Very good at what he does. If that's the case, you basically broke a team law, not just rule, right? You can't do it. Okay, so why can't I cut his pay?
Yeah.
And if I'm an NIL person that's going NIL that he's doing a commercial for it, no, I don't want to. I want to disassociate myself with him. So my $1 million, I'm not giving it to him anymore. We're not doing that anymore because they're not feeding the collective. What stops from doing that? I normally champion a kid's cause, but when it comes to this, I can't. And I don't create in college football. I don't champion either side's cause now. I mean, I'll champion a cause to get them there and to help them get there. But I'm talking about when those decisions come up. I'm not telling you what you do, whether it's transfer or whether the coach is supposed to leave if I'm his agent. You decide that. We'll help you any way we can. But this is just college football has become an embarrassment.
Yeah,
rules wise.
For example, remember the story we did, I don't know, a month or two ago? Troy Aikman came out and said he gave $4 million or whatever the money was to a quarterback that was coming in, incoming freshman, and we all figured it was Dante Moore at UCLA. What if you're a former Washington quarterback, Jake Locker, and you or Michael Penix with the Falcons now? Yeah, Chris Chandler.
Yeah.
Somebody gave $2 million of the $4 they were given to him, and you're just like, screw this kid. My money's coming back. I'll give it to, let's go get Sam Levitt, or, let's replace him with one of these guys. So it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And we're going to learn more about this story as it continues. We're going to hear from Sam Levitt, I'm sure, at some point. We're going to hear from DeMan Williams. We're going to hear from Lane Kiffin. Somebody will have a story out about him. And then Jed Fish and company are going to be loud as they can be.
And they should be.
This story. Yes.
And they absolutely should be. And I'll tell you this, let's not alleviate and take away any responsibility from Lane Kiffin. Lane's at the center of this.
100%.
He knows exactly. Lane is smart. I love him, but he is smart and understand. He knows exactly what he's doing. You know what that's called, Segs? Hedging your bet. Yeah. In the gamble, he's hedging his bet. If I don't get one, I get the other. But in the process of hedging it, you may lose two of them. How's that grabbing?